Hey friends, welcome back to my channel. It's Krista from He Births Down Home. If you are new here, welcome. I have lots of new subscribers and wanted to take a moment to just say, I want to welcome you here. Thanks for joining us. And today we're going to talk for just a little bit about some large family tips and tricks for mealtime. So for those of you who are newer here, we are a family of 10. We have 4 biological children, 2 adopted children, and 2 foster children. And we are just living life the best we can. Hey friends, a real quick request of you guys before this video gets started. I just wanted to do a Q&A video in the next few weeks. So if you would put questions down in the comments below for me, I would love to hear from you and answer your questions. Hope you guys enjoy today's tips and tricks video. So mealtime just keeps coming around, right? 3, 4, 5 times a day we have meals or snacks coming out and kids eating and messes being made in the kitchen. And I have a few tips and tricks that have helped us along the way, or that we have had to develop just because of the sheer volume of food and children that we feed here. So I have to tell you guys a little story. My dog is like whining outside the door, so I'm gonna let her come in with us. Come on, Okie. She has to be by me all the time. So, okay, and I locked her out of the kitchen along with most of the kids. My phone's going off, all the things are happening. This is just life. And I have to show you this. So, I was gonna change my shirt for this video. I think you guys can see this. But I got soused with peanut butter hands this morning, first thing, and I was gonna go change my shirt, but I'm like, you know what? This is just real life, guys. This is how it happens. If you guys stop by my house right now at this very moment, this is exactly what you would find. Me in a dirty shirt. You would find silverware still on the counter because somebody didn't finish their chore. A few dirty dishes because somebody didn't finish their chore fast enough for somebody else to load the dishwasher. Yeah, this is how it goes, right? You guys know this, you guys know the drill. Anyway, the rest of the kitchen isn't awful. I did clean up over here so we can stand and look at this part. But I am drinking my morning hot chocolate protein shake or whatever, and I just thought that I would share with you guys just some tips and tricks that have helped us along the way as we have rapidly gained children and numbers at our table. The sheer volume level at mealtime is incredible around here. As we all gather into one space, it becomes very, very loud. 10 people, 9 people most of the day because my husband's at work. Sometimes 10 though. He tries to video chat with us over lunch, and the volume level is so high that sometimes he just sort of sits there on the video chat as he's eating his lunch in his car at work, and he's just like overwhelmed. You know, he's overwhelmed when he's here too, and so am I. So what I've done with meal times to kind of bring that volume level down, because it is so high, especially during the winter time. So during the summer, a lot of times to curb the volume level, I will take them outside for meals, like at lunch, sometimes even breakfast and lunch are outside in the, you know, on the patio. And then they just get up and leave and go play. As soon as they're done, they run off and run off energy, and it's not that big of a deal. But during the winter time, we can't exactly do that. We're all sort of stuck inside together. So what I've been doing is at breakfast, I know this is where you guys are gonna, maybe some of you are gonna crucify me, but at breakfast, I turn on an educational show or a documentary, maybe a magic school bus or something like that. But it's kind of the beginning to our homeschool day, just a little bit of education on the television. They're all watching, they're all glued to the TV, it's quiet. I let them watch from the dining room table, they can see the TV, and I get breakfast out. Kids are patient, nobody's hollering, and they're, you know, watching TV, and they're eating, and it's quiet. I used to just have this idea that we had to sit at the table and converse all the time, you know, have good conversations about whatever. But sometimes it's just about making it through the meal. And many of you can understand where I'm coming from. During lunch, we do an audiobook. And so that also is something that they're listening to. It doesn't hold their attention quite as well as like a documentary or a video, but an audiobook works too, just so that everybody's sort of quiet and listening to whatever's the story is. That'll bring the noise level down as well. And then at supper time, Dad's home and we all talk about our day and just visit. And for some reason, supper time doesn't seem as chaotic. as breakfast and lunch. So that's kind of what we're doing right now to help curb the mealtime chaos. This year I also bought these, and these are color-coded plates, divided plates, that the oldest 5 children have their own colors. And those are the kids that we serve up their food to. So they each have their own color of divided plate, and that makes a huge difference when we have all the plates lined up and, you know, this kid wants this on their plate and this kid wants that on their plate and this kid wants this and that. So we know whose plate is whose when we go to pass them out and when we go to load them up with food. So I went ahead and did divided plates because a lot of times we were going through a ton of little bowls of some sort to do like applesauce and stuff like that in. And so I'm like, you know, we're going through a ton of dishes this way. So the divided plates help to really cut down on the amount of dishes that we go through. So we do divided colored plates for the oldest 5. We have extra divided plates for the rest of us that we sometimes use. But this way the oldest 5 are color coded. So that is so helpful as we're passing out plates to know whose color is whose. One other tip with these divided plates is that we keep them in a stack that has the 5 colors: orange, purple, blue, green, and a lighter blue, all together in one stack. So there's 3 sets of them. So we make sure that they're in color order, and I'm thankful and lucky that I have a helpful little dishwasher guy who, my 8-year-old, he puts the dishwasher dishes away and he stacks them in order for me so that when I go to grab dishes out of here, I just have to grab the one stack of colors instead of having to sort out colors. So I just grab the next stack, the next stack, the next stack. So it's super helpful. So if you want to get that organized about it, you can, or if you have a little helper who's very organized, I super appreciate him doing that for me. So this tip many of you probably already know, but the pizza cutter is your friend. We cut everything with pizza cutters. Pancakes, sandwiches, whatever it is, especially for our little infants and toddlers who need little bite-sized pieces, we just chop it up with a pizza cutter. And I still do it, my pancakes and things like that for my, you know, up to 5-year-olds, just so that they don't have to cut their food up. But we cut almost everything with a pizza cutter. So we keep 2 or 3 of these on hand. And if one breaks, we always replace it because pizza cutters are our friend in the kitchen. They're just a fast way to chop up food and get little bite-sized pieces for our little people. Okay, this last tip is one that has helped me so much with staying on plan, Trim Healthy Mama, and eating healthier. So you know how on the airplane they tell you to put your own oxygen mask on first and then your kids' oxygen mask on. And it's the same way with mealtime. And I never really thought about it before, but when I feed the kids first, or I get them eating and then it's cleanup time and then we're on to the next thing and transitioning, there's 2 things that happen. Number 1, I might just forget to eat or get too busy to eat. And number 2, I grab junk because I'm just in such a rush. But it seems like if I can either eat like while I'm preparing their food, or, you know, at supper time we sit down all together and it works out okay that I can eat with them. But a lot of other times we're just, you know, passing through, and if I don't feed myself first and make sure that I have a healthy plan for me, it just doesn't happen. The worst time is probably breakfast time. Everybody sort of just wakes up hungry and, you know, hangry and angry at the same time. And so you're just kind of hurrying and trying to get everybody breakfast as fast as you can. And then afterwards, off we go with our day, and it just, you know, doesn't seem to happen that we come back around to feeding ourselves and feeding ourselves healthy. So trying to get up a little bit earlier in the morning, possibly, eating maybe even before they get up sometimes, making sure I have a healthy protein shake at the very least in me before I start to feed them seems to be a helpful way to make sure that I'm intentional with what I'm putting into my body. So that one has been a super helpful one in helping me lose weight and also maintain weight loss and eat healthier, is just to be super intentional about, I'm gonna feed myself really quickly here first, and then I'm gonna worry about getting the kids all fed. Because once we get started with that whole roller coaster, you know, 8 kids later, it's a while later and my food choices are gonna be not that great. So anyway, that's another great tip, is feed yourself first, put on your own oxygen mask, get that nourishment into your body, eat something healthy, and then help the kiddos. So thank you so much for watching today. I hope these tips are useful for you guys too. Thanks again. We'll talk to you later. Bye-bye.